Modern society is undergoing an unprecedented crisis of public discourse. What was once a tradition of reasoned debate and respectful dialogue has increasingly become a landscape defined by noise, hostility, and entrenched polarization. Neutrality, the cornerstone of fair judgment and democratic maturity, is now often misunderstood or even ridiculed. Television debates, social media platforms, and public forums frequently resemble battlegrounds, driven not by a search for truth but by emotional provocation, commercial incentives, and tribal loyalties. This binary environment leaves little room for nuance. People are forced into rigid ideological camps, where impartiality is seen as weakness and moderation as betrayal. Those who shoulder responsibility, judges, administrators, leaders, and mediators, face immense strain. Their challenge extends beyond balancing competing claims. It becomes a test of survival in a setting where self-doubt is condemned and compromise is treated as failure. Emotional fatigue and burnout are becoming common among individuals who value dialogue over division. Neutrality, however, can also be selectively misused. Some adopt it conveniently to criticize others while ignoring their own inconsistencies. Such hypocrisy corrodes trust in public institutions and reduces civic discourse to a performance of self-justification. Scholars like J. Garfield warn that polarization destroys civil dialogue, the very founders of democracy. To rebuild trust, we must engage across divides with humility, recognizing each other as humans rather than adversaries. The consequences of this crisis extend deep into democratic institutions. Legislatures become gridlocked, passing either polarized or superficial laws. Judicial independence is questioned as courts are perceived through partisan lenses. Political leaders are reduced to factional representatives detached from the broader public interest. Public conversation devolves into hostile rhetoric, eroding social cohesion and weakening democratic norms. Polarization also harms individual well-being and social relationships. Stress, anxiety, shrinking social networks, and ideological segregation hinder cooperation and societal progress. Workplaces become tense and misinformation spreads rapidly online, amplifying division. Research shows that increased digital connectivity fosters homophily, people clustering with like-minded groups, widening opinion gaps and fueling intolerance. To counter this, society must reclaim the ideal of respectful, open dialogue. Defending neutrality and balanced judgment must become moral obligations. Rebuilding civil discourse requires empathy, patience, and the courage to listen deeply. The middle path is not a compromise of values but a mature recognition of complexity. Protecting dialogue and moderation safeguards democracy from polarization's corrosive effects and keeps alive the hope of peaceful coexistence and collective progress.